to my channel House of Leo. My name's Lucy and today I want to show you how I make these lovely Christmas stars. These are suitable for beginners. If you're a beginner, I'm going to go slow so I can show you how to make them. They look lovely in a garland, you can hang them on your tree, or they would make excellent gift tags for your presents too. So let's get started. So today I'm going to show you how to make these really sweet, simple Christmas stars. In my last video I made these stockings, so this is continuing along with the theme. I've obviously done these in the same colours because I think they would look really nice in a garland together, but obviously you can choose whatever colours you like. These have been made using double knit yarn, DK yarn. But today I'm going to show you with a Aran yarn or a worsted weight yarn, just because it shows up better on camera, and we'll see how the end result looks. So it's a little experiment, we'll see how it goes. So we're going to start with a magic circle. We just wind it around our fingers, create a loop, pop our hook through, pull up a loop, oops. Hold on to our magic circle and chain one through the loop we've pulled up, which holds the magic circle in place. Now we need to chain another two, and we have our very first stitch. So we are now doing a treble crochet UK terms or double crochet US terms. So to do that, we yarn over, go through our magic circle, yarn over and pull back through, so we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, sorry, my yarn overs are yarn unders, it's a habit I need to break, go through 2, go through 2. So you now have 2 stitches on your magic circle because we're going to include the chain stitch as our first stitch. So we yarn over, through the magic circle, yarn over and back through, you have 3, yarn over through the first 2, yarn over through the next 2. We're going to need 10 of these around. I'll show you one more. Yarn over, through the magic circle, yarn over, back through again, so you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, through 2, yarn over, through 2. So as you can see, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 6 more. I shall do those off camera and come back to you. Okay, so now we have 10 stitches in our magic circle. We're going to pull the magic circle closed using our tail end. Now we need to connect these stitches together, so we are going to do a slip stitch. We're just going to go between the first 2 stitches, our chain stitch and our first stitch, going between there, yarn over, pull through, you have 2 stitches on your hook. Not yarning over, what we're going to do is pull our first stitch through our second stitch, and that is a slip stitch. So you have your circle complete. So now we are working on our second row. We are doing these cluster stitches. There are 10 in total, 5 groups of 2 with a chain space in between, which creates this gap here. So I shall show you that now. So we have our first row completed. We are going to chain 2 and back into this first stitch here. We're going to yarn over, put our hook through the space, yarn over, pull back up. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through just the first 2, leaving 2 on the hook. Yarn over, go back through the first the stitch again. You now have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through just the first 2. Now with this first cluster that we're creating, we started with a chain stitch, so our first cluster will have 3 loops on the hook. We yarn over and pull through all 3, and then we just do a little chain to close. Yarn over, and we're going into the next stitch available. Yarn over, pull your yarn through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through just the first 2. You now have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, through, yarn over, back through. You now have 4 loops on your hook. Just go through the first 2, so you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, through the same stitch again. Yarn over, pull up. There are now 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, so you now have 4 loops on the hook. Because we started this one with a proper stitch instead of a chain, we will end up with 4, so all the others will have 4 on them as well. So we're going to pull through all 4 of these stitches and do a chain at the end to seal it. So that is your first 2 clusters. Now we need to create a chain space, so we're going to chain 1, 2, 3. So you have your first 2 and your chain. Okay, so working into the next stitch space around, we yarn over, through the stitch space, yarn over and pull back up. We have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over and we pull through just the first 2, leaving us with 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over, through, yarn over, back through. We have 4 loops on our hook. We're just working through the first 2, leaving 3 on our hook. Yarn over, through. We now have 5 loops on our hook. We're going through just the first 2. We now have 4 loops on our hook, so we yarn over and we pull through all 4 and chain stitch closed. So we have 2 clusters, chain space, 1 cluster, so we need another cluster in here before we do our chain space. Yarn over, through, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, through, 4 loops on the hook, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, through, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, through. You have your 4, yarn over, pull through all 4 and chain closed. So now we need to create our next chain space. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over just the first 2. You're left with 2. Yarn over. You have 4 loops on your hook. Pull through the first 2, so you're left with 3. Yarn over, through. You now have 5 loops on your hook through the first 2. You have 4 through all 4 and chain closed. So you need to do another cluster, then your chain, 2 clusters, and that will give you 4 clusters, so we need another chain, another 2 clusters, and then I'll come back to you. So this is where I've made it. I have 2 chain, 2 chain, 2 chain, 2 chain. I'm back to this one, and we have one last space, so we yarn over, pull it through. You have 3 on the hook, just go through the first 2, yarn over, 4 on the hook, just through the first 2, yarn over, 5 on the hook, just through the first 2, you have your 4, pull through all 4, chain, and because we need 5 chain spaces, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, this last bit before we join is another chain, 2, 3. So we now just go into our very first chain stitch there, and we do our slip stitch closed, and that is your second round complete. Our third round is made up of 4 different types of stitches. So this one is fiddly but really useful to learn. So let me just show you. Our first stitch here is a double crochet. We move on to a half treble, a treble crochet, and a double treble crochet. So those are UK terms. In US, that would be a single crochet, double crochet, a half double, a double, and a treble. We then reverse what we've just done to come back the other side. So we have our double treble, treble, half treble, and double crochet. So let's do that now. So to get round to our point, first we have to do a double crochet in between the 2 clusters. And that just moves us along. And now we're going to do our double into the chain space. So that's our first stitch of our point. We are now doing a half treble. So to do that, we yarn over, we go through the chain space, so we have 3 on our hook, and then we pull through all 3. We need to do a treble, so that's yarn over, through our chain space, we have 3 on our hook, we pull, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. As you can see, each stitch gets a little bit longer. Now for our double treble, or our treble in UK to US terms, we yarn over and we yarn over again. So we have 3 loops on our hook before we even put it through our chain space. Yarn over and pull it back through, and we have 4 loops on our hook. You go through the first 2, you go through the next 2, and then you go through the last 2. We now chain 3, we yarn over again as we're doing this in reverse, through the chain space, you go through 2, you go through 2, you go through the last 2. Now a treble, yarn over once, through your chain space, you go through 2, you go through the last 2. Half treble, yarn over, through your chain space, 3 on your hook, you go through all 3. And then a double, so we don't yarn over, we just go through the chain space, pull it through, and go through there. And that is your first point. So we then double into the next space between the clusters. you've completed your first point. I'm going to show you that slowly again. We have our chain space, we do our double crochet, stitch number 1, we yarn over, we go through our chain space, yarn over, pull back through, we have 3 on our hook, we go through all 3, that's our half treble. Now we have a treble, yarn over, you have 3 on your hook, you go through 2, 2. Now for our double treble, so this is where we yarn over twice, yarn over again, through your chain space, pull it back up through, you have 4 on your hook, yarn over 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through your last 2. That's your first half of your point. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over again as we're doing a double treble, through our chain space, you have 4 on your hook, go through 2, go through the next 2 and the next 2, yarn over, treble stitch, so we have 3 on our hook, through 2, through 2, yarn over, it's our half treble, so we have 3 on our hook, but we go through all 3 at the same time, and then our doubles, so there's no yarn over, we just go through and then pull up. And we're going to put our double into between the next 2 clusters, and that completes your next point. I'm going to do this next one a little bit speedier, so it's a double crochet, a half treble, a treble and a double treble, chain 3, double treble, treble, half treble and a double. A double in between, double, half treble, treble, and a double treble, chain 3, double treble, treble, a half treble and a double. So we have one last point to do, so we're doing a double crochet, a treble crochet, a half treble crochet through all 3, a treble crochet through 2, and then through 2, and then a double treble. Yarn over once, yarn over twice. You have 4 loops on your hook. You go through the first 2, through the next 2, and through the last 2. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over again, through the center. You have 4 loops on your hook, through the first 2, through the second 2, through the last 2, treble crochet, yarn over, through 2, through 2, half treble, yarn over, through all 3, and our last stitch will be a double. Now to finish it off, I shall just do a slip stitch into this stitch space here. So that's where you pull it through, and you pull that loop through there. And to finish it off, we just snip your yarn and pull your yarn up through like that, and it's ready for weaving in. And here you have your 5-pointed Christmas star. Just manipulate your points, straighten them out. Weave in your ends. When you weave in your magic circle, remember to go backwards and forwards, up and down, around and round, and make it nice and secure. So here are some completed stars. I have 2 styles. This one and this one are made in the Aran yarn. So this is worsted weight yarn, and these ones are made with the double knit DK yarn. So they're slightly smaller, but they all used the 6mm hook, and they all came out really nice. So I really hope you enjoyed making these. Give it a like, give me a comment, do all the things, and I look forward to showing you my next tutorial. Have a great day, guys.